Ever wondered what secrets lie hidden in century-old Pennsylvania barns? Researchers discovered seeds that shouldn't exist. 15 vegetable varieties that agricultural records claimed had vanished forever. When planted, they revealed why modern farming's so-called perfect designs failed us, and why these forgotten Amish secrets could save our food future. Historical context. 3 centuries ago, Mennonite and Plain communities fleeing European persecution carried precious seeds sewn into clothing and hidden in hair braids. These represented centuries of agricultural wisdom from ancestors who survived famines and wars. Pennsylvania's fertile soil became their sanctuary, where patient, multi-generational seed selection created vegetables so superior that modern heirloom companies still cluster around southeastern Pennsylvania today. 1. Skirit. Before potatoes dominated American tables, Amish families treasured Skirit for its clusters of sweet, finger-like roots that tasted like a cross between carrots and parsnips with honey. Medieval European settlers brought this forgotten gem to Pennsylvania, where Amish communities perfected its cultivation through selective breeding. Each plant produced multiple white tubers that could be harvested selectively throughout winter, providing fresh food when nothing else grew. Unlike modern root vegetables that require processing, Skirit needed only scrubbing before roasting. The plant's feathery leaves resembled carrots, but the underground treasure was far sweeter than anything we grow today. 2. Good King Henry. Named after a benevolent German king, Good King Henry served as the original spinach for Amish communities decades before actual spinach reached American shores. This remarkable perennial grew wild near farmhouse doors, producing arrow-shaped leaves that emerged earlier than any other green vegetable in spring. Amish families discovered they could harvest young shoots like asparagus in early spring, mature leaves like spinach throughout summer, and even use the protein-rich flower spikes in nourishing soups. The plant required zero cultivation once established, self-seeding and spreading naturally around homesteads. Rich in vitamins and minerals that surpassed modern greens. 3. White Salsify. Amish farmers called this remarkable plant the oyster plant, because its boiled roots incredibly mimicked the taste of fresh Atlantic oysters, bringing ocean luxury to inland Pennsylvania families who would never see the sea. Thomas Jefferson himself grew salsify in his famous gardens, and New England Amish communities cultivated vast fields throughout the 1800s. The plant produced beautiful purple daisy-like flowers before developing long, parsnip-shaped white roots that could remain buried in frozen ground all winter long. Families bundled up during blizzards to harvest fresh roots, providing crucial nutrition when absolutely nothing else would grow. 4. Black Salsify Scorzonera. With its mysterious black skin hiding snow-white flesh beneath, Scorzonera was the Amish farmer's ultimate insurance policy against winter starvation and crop failure. This remarkable root could grow 3 full feet long and survive killing temperatures that destroyed every other vegetable in the garden. Medieval European doctors believed it cured deadly snake bites and plague symptoms, leading to its careful cultivation in monastery gardens across the continent. Amish communities made an extraordinary discovery. Scorzonera actually improved dramatically in flavor after hard freezing, developing complex tastes that combined oysters, artichokes, and asparagus in each bite. 5. Mangel Worzle. Known throughout Europe as the root of scarcity. Mangel Worzle literally saved Amish families during the hardest economic times and harshest winters Pennsylvania could deliver. These massive beets could grow to 20 pounds each, providing enormous yields from remarkably small garden spaces when land was precious. Developed in 18th century Germany specifically for survival, they arrived in America with religious immigrants who understood the value of crops that could feed both families and essential livestock. Young Mangel roots tasted surprisingly sweet and tender when cooked like regular beets, while mature ones stored in cool root cellars for many months. 6. Amish Paste Tomato. From humble Wisconsin Amish gardens emerged America's most perfect sauce tomato, carefully treasured and improved for over 150 remarkable years of selective breeding. These distinctive heart-shaped beauties weigh 8 to 12 ounces each, containing incredibly meaty flesh with almost no watery seeds, making them absolutely ideal for canning and sauce making without any modern additives. Unlike today's watery commercial tomatoes, Amish paste varieties concentrated intense flavor through generations of careful seed selection by families who depended on their harvest. Busy Amish cooks could process bushels into thick, rich sauce without artificial thickeners or preservatives. The vigorous, indeterminate vines produced heavily until killing frost. 7. Amish Nuttle Bean. The Amish sense of humor shines through this beloved bean's original Pennsylvania Dutch name. Goodelbund translates directly to turd bean, because the dried beans remarkably resembled rabbit droppings scattered across the barnyard. Despite its crude nickname that made children giggle, southeastern Pennsylvania Amish families cherished this hardy variety for special Sunday dinners and important community gatherings. The tall, vigorous vines naturally climbed cornstalks in traditional Three Sisters plantings alongside squash, producing drab purple-gray beans beautifully speckled with maroon and brown markings. These protein-rich legumes required a patient 95 to 110 Daltons wise to fully mature but rewarded families with incredible flavor. 8. Amish Moon and Stars Watermelon. Perhaps the most breathtakingly beautiful fruit ever cultivated, this magical watermelon earned its celestial name from bright yellow spots scattered across dark green skin exactly like stars glittering in the night sky. Even the broad leaves displayed the same enchanting speckled pattern that fascinated children and adults alike. Amish families treasured these extraordinary melons not just for their stunning appearance, but for flesh that glowed bright golden yellow instead of traditional red, creating a visual feast. The sweet, firm texture made them perfect for both eating fresh on hot summer days and preserving as pickles or fruit preserves. 9. Amish Pie Squash. Maryland Amish gardeners developed this massive squash specifically for their world-famous pies, creating extraordinary fruits that could weigh up to 80 pounds, with flesh nearly 5 inches thick throughout. The pale orange, top-shaped squashes contained incredibly dense, naturally sweet flesh that required absolutely no added sugar for desserts, making them economical for large families. A single enormous squash provided enough rich filling for dozens of traditional pies, making it invaluable for community gatherings and harvest celebrations where hundreds needed feeding. The thick, nutritious flesh dried beautifully for extended winter storage, maintaining its sweetness and vital nutrition for many months. 10. Amish Snap Pea. Decades before patented snap peas conquered American gardens and supermarket shelves, resourceful Amish families had already perfected their own superior edible pod variety through countless generations of careful seed saving and selection. These exceptionally vigorous vines required sturdy support structures but rewarded dedicated gardeners with heavy yields of sweet, medium-sized green pods ready in just 62 days from early spring planting. Unlike modern varieties specifically bred for shipping and shelf life, Amish snap peas concentrated remarkable sweetness and satisfying crunch that absolutely had to be eaten fresh from the garden. Children learned to graze directly from the productive vines. 11. Cherokee Trail of Tears Bean. This humble bean carries one of America's most heartbreaking histories. Originally saved by brave Cherokee families during their forced removal in 1838 and later compassionately preserved by Amish communities who recognized its profound significance. The distinctive purple-striped pods contain shiny black seeds that Cherokee mothers courageously smuggled in their clothing and hair during the deadly westward march that claimed thousands of lives. Amish families who encountered Cherokee refugees immediately recognized the bean's exceptional value and helped preserve the variety through their time-tested seed-saving traditions and networks. The vigorous climbing vines produce unique purple-streaked pods that curl like serpents. 12. Fish pepper. African-American watermen working the Chesapeake Bay region originally developed this striking pepper specifically for oyster and crab house cooking, and Pennsylvania Amish communities played a crucial role in preserving its unique genetics for future generations. The pepper's most remarkable feature remains its beautiful variegated foliage. green leaves dramatically streaked, with white patterns that perfectly matched the striped peppers themselves. Horace Pippin of Westchester, Pennsylvania, carefully passed precious seeds to the Seed Savers Exchange, ensuring survival of this irreplaceable culinary treasure. The medium hot peppers provided exactly the right heat levels for delicate seafood dishes without overwhelming subtle flavors. 13. Lemon cucumber. These remarkable round yellow fruits revolutionized cucumber growing when they first arrived from Australia in 1894 through Samuel Wilson's influential Pennsylvania seed catalog that served farming communities. Amish families immediately recognized their obvious superiority. Lemon cucumbers were completely burpless, crisp without any bitterness, and could be eaten exactly like apples straight from the vine without preparation. The fast-growing, productive vines yielded impressive harvests early in the growing season, providing fresh cucumbers when other traditional varieties were still flowering. Unlike conventional cucumbers that became bitter and inedible in summer heat, lemon varieties maintained their mild, refreshing flavor. 14. Brandywine tomato. Named after Pennsylvania's beautiful Brandywine Creek, this legendary Amish heirloom became the absolute gold standard for tomato flavor when it first emerged from Chester County gardens in 1885. These massive beefsteak tomatoes regularly exceed 2 pounds each, with deep pink skin hiding incredibly flavorful flesh that perfectly defines what tomatoes should actually taste like. The vigorous, indeterminate vines require sturdy support structures but produce continuously until killing frost, providing huge harvests from just a few carefully tended plants. Brandywine's distinctive potato-like leaves clearly distinguish it from other varieties, while its exceptional flavor has made it absolutely legendary among serious home gardeners. 15. Ground cherry, husk cherry. Wrapped in delicate, papery, lantern-like husks, these golden treasures provided Amish families with nature's own candy and powerful medicine beautifully combined in one remarkable fruit. Each small fruit delivered intense sweetness with delightful hints of pineapple and vanilla, making them absolutely irresistible to children who eagerly collected them like precious natural candy. The protective husks shielded fruits from hungry insects and harsh weather, allowing extended harvest periods and excellent storage capabilities that lasted months. Resourceful Amish families dried ground cherries exactly like raisins for winter treats, made preserves for special occasions, and used them medicinally for various ailments. Preservation Methods section. The Amish approach to vegetable preservation represented centuries of accumulated wisdom about keeping families fed through harsh Pennsylvania winters and unpredictable growing seasons. Their multi-layered preservation system combined ancient techniques with innovative adaptations to local conditions. Seed saving formed the foundation of their agricultural independence. Every autumn, families carefully selected the best specimens from each variety, allowing them to fully mature before harvesting seeds. These seeds were cleaned, dried, and stored in cool, dry conditions, using techniques passed down through generations. Unlike modern farmers who purchase new seeds annually, Amish families maintained their own genetic libraries. Root cellars provided controlled environments where vegetables like Mangel Worzle, Salsify, and Scorzonera could remain fresh for months. These underground chambers maintained consistent temperatures just above freezing while providing proper humidity levels. Fermentation and canning preserved the summer's abundance. Families fermented cabbage into sauerkraut, pickled ground cherries and cucumbers, and canned tomatoes using methods that retained maximum nutrition. They created varieties specifically bred for preservation, developing thicker skins, denser flesh, and concentrated flavors that improved during storage rather than deteriorating. This comprehensive preservation system ensured year-round nutrition while maintaining the superior flavors that made these vegetables irreplaceable. Modern availability. Today, the genetic treasures once exclusive to Amish communities have found new life through dedicated preservation organizations and specialty seed companies that recognize their irreplaceable value. The Seed Savers Exchange, founded in 1975, maintains the largest collection of these heirloom varieties in North America, with many directly sourced from elderly Amish gardeners before the knowledge disappeared forever. Amishland Seeds continues the tradition by growing and offering varieties still cultivated in Pennsylvania Dutch communities. Their catalog reads like a living museum of agricultural history, featuring vegetables that sustain families for generations. The Landis Valley Museum Heirloom Seed Project represents one of the most significant preservation efforts, collecting seeds from Pennsylvania German families since 1986. Their collection includes varieties that exist nowhere else on Earth, saved from extinction by dedicated volunteers. Smaller companies like True Love Seeds focus on culturally important varieties, often providing free seeds to descendant communities